die Starting Lineup der Solingen Alligators. Im Centerfield mit der Rücknummer 11 Lars Zamet-Preuß. Als Shortstop mit der Rücknummer 9 Daniel Sanchez.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2018 Bundesliga semifinal Game 2 between the Solingen Alligators and the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. My name is Tim Collins, and we are coming to you live from the hills in Heidenheim. It's another beautiful, sunny fall day, but it's not too cool. There's a little bit of a brisk breeze in the air, but other than that, the temperature is very pleasant, hovering around 20 degrees Celsius. And some clouds in the sky, but mostly blue floating over above. And right now the team introductions are going on. The Solingen Alligators are being introduced, and then we will have the Heidenheim Heideköpfe introductions. So I'll just turn it over to the stadium announcer for you. And this ball game is going to start in just a few minutes.
Starting lineup der Heidenheim Heideköpfe. Zuerst auf der Bank mit der Rücknummer 41 Christian Heller, mit der 13 Semifinal, mit der 7 Patrick Leipzig, mit der 25 Elian Gärtner, mit der 36 Julius Band, die 17 Marcel Giro, die 23 Logan Crispy, die 22 Ricky Torres, die 11 Becky Zweibus und die 1 Konstantin Holl. Und nun die Starting Lineup der Heidenheim Heideköpfe. Unser Erstspieler Stefano am dritten Base, Jay Taxi im Centerfield, wie immer Gary Owens im Right Field diesmal mit der 39 Nick Nielsen, als Catcher mit der 14 Simon Düring, am ersten Base Ludwig Glaser, als DH Johannes Brunk, auf der Position der Shortstop Thomas Wilson und am zweiten Base Makite. Starting-Pitcher für die Heideköpfe RJ Heidling und die Catchers Klaus Eckler, Markus Winkler und Magnus Hirschberger. Die Unverteidigten an der Onplate Jens Heider, am ersten Base Alexander Harte und am dritten Base Daniel Dibacco. Nun, wie immer in Finalspielen, darf ich Sie bitten, sich zu erheben für die deutsche Nationalhymne.
Well, you heard it, folks. The fans here are ready for another exciting day of baseball. Yesterday was a lot of fun. The Heidenheim Heideköpfe emerged victorious over the Solingen Alligators with a score of 9-8. And it was a ball game that went back and forth. It featured a lot of runs, a lot of hits, 27 in total. And the Solingen Alligators came out of the gate swinging the bats right away. They scored 2 runs in the first inning, thanks to a 2-run triple off the bat of Ben Andrews. And the Heideköpfe were able to answer back with 3 runs thanks to Simon Göring's bases clearing double in the bottom of the first inning. They took the lead at that point. The game would later be tied, and it stayed tied at 5 until the bottom of the 6th inning when Ludwig Glaser drove home a base hit that scored 1 run, and then a second run came in to score on an error by the center fielder, and that broke the tie and gave the Heideköpfe a lead that they would never relinquish. The Alligators fought back and made it very interesting, however, in the top of the 8th inning. They scored 3 runs and had runners on first and third with 1 out, and it was at that point that Klaus Eckle decided to switch in the 17-year-old right-hander Simon Liedtke to come in and pitch. And Liedtke escaped the jam, stranding the runners at the corners. In fact, one runner was cut down at the plate in the process of all that. And then Liedtke again closed out the ball game in the top of the 9th inning and got the save to give the Heideköpfe a 1-game-to-0 lead. And you see the Heideköpfe have taken the field here. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for them. On the mound in pitching, R.J. Hively. He is working with catcher Simon Göring. Around the infield, we have Jay Pecci at third base. Philip Schultz is at short. Simon Liedtke playing second base today. He gets the start in the lineup. And playing first base is Ludwig Glaser. In the outfield, Sascha Lutz is in left. Gary Owens is in center. And in right field today, Mitch Nielsen will get the start. So that gives Liedtke a chance to play second base. And now the lineup that R.J. Hively is going to face looks like this. And there you see the right-hander. R.J. Hively, he's a Californian, 29 years of age, a former AAA Arizona Diamondbacks farmhand. And he's going to deal with Lars Zameitpreuss getting the start, leading off and playing center field today. Daniel Sanchez, the shortstop, bats second. Ben Andrews, the third baseman, had 4 runs batted in yesterday. He's batting third. Lars Anderson batting fourth, playing left field. Wilson Lee is going to bat for himself. He's pitching and batting fifth. Dustin Hughes, the first baseman, bats sixth. Niels Hartkopf, the second baseman, who pitched very well in relief yesterday, he's going to bat seventh. Marcus Stritzek, the right fielder, bats eighth. And the catcher, Johannes Weidemann, bats ninth. So here we are, ready to go. Lars Zameitpreuss steps up to the plate. It's time to play ball at about 4 minutes past 2. And R.J. Hively's first pitch of the game coming right now. And it is upstairs, ball 1. We are underway. Lars Zameitpreuss in yesterday's game was 2 for 4. He scored a run as well. Had 2 singles. And the 1-0 from Hively is popped foul, out of play, 1 ball and 1 strike. R.J. Hively on the season, 90 in the third innings pitched, a 3.39 ERA. He had 28 walks and 106 strikeouts. His last outing was last Saturday versus the Heart Disciples. He pitched 5 no-hit innings. The 1-1. That's outside, ball 2. Now it will be interesting to see what the Alligators can do against Hively in the first inning of this one. As yesterday they came out swinging. Here's the 2-1 to Zameitpreuss. Fastball strike called in the inside corner. Umpires, by the way, Jens Beider behind the plate, Alex Hardolt first, Dan DiBacco down the third baseline. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Lars Zameitpreuss, and R.J. Hively deals. And it's low and outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Hively, I mentioned he's from Orange, California, 29 years of age. Played for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And in their farm system, rather. There's a pitch down low, and that's ball 4. Zameitpreuss draws a leadoff walk. And I mentioned it yesterday. He's a guy that will steal bases for the Alligators. There's only 3 guys really that do a lot of running, and Zameitpreuss is one of them. He is 14 for 18 in stolen base attempts. And so, Daniel Sanchez comes up to the plate. He's a very pesky hitter, hits the ball all over the field. We'll see if Wayno tries to send the runner here. And he does not go. The first pitch is a strike called on the outside corner. Daniel Sanchez yesterday was 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored. He had 2 hard hit singles. He was also hit by a pitch. Right-hand hitter Sanchez has been a member of the Alligators since 2014. A slick fielding shortstop with quick hands and a strong bat. 0-1 from R.J. Hively, the pitch. A ground ball to the right side. It is knocked down by Glaser. He recovers and fires to Hively covering. They get Sanchez at first, but Zameitpreuss moves to second. Glaser, I was pretty sure, was thinking he wanted to try to turn a double play. And the ball popped out of his glove and lay on the grass, and he had to go back and pick it up. And so therefore his only play was to first. But he recovered nicely, and a good job also by Hively to get over and cover. That's the first out of the inning. Zameitpreuss moves up to scoring position. He's at second. And now Ben Andrews. Andrews yesterday was 2 for 5. He had 4 runs batted in. He had a triple and a single. Right-handed hitter, open stance. Runner at second base, Zamite Price with good speed. And the pitch. That's a fastball outside, ball 1. Zamite Price walked and advanced on the ground ball. He's at second with 1 out. And R.J. Hively, the right-hander, comes set. 1-0 on Ben Andrews. The pitch. Swinging, and he taps it foul behind the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cue the cowbell. The cowbell is new today. I didn't hear that yesterday.
1 Ball, 1 Strike für Ben Andrews.
One out, runner on second base, Lars Zamite Price. And Ben Andrews with a 1-1 count as R.J. Hively looks in for the sign from Goering. He's got one and comes set. And the pitch is on the way. A curve is on the inside corner. Strike 2, Andrews with a look back at Jens Feider, but he says nothing. And now he asks Feider a question, wondering if that's at the very top of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Andrews. There's 1 out. Fans just getting settled in here in the ballpark in Heidenheim. Hively is set. He checks on Zamite Price and delivers. A slow ground ball towards the shortstop. Schultz charges and gloves and throws to first in time. 2 down. Zamite Price goes to third. That was a good pitch from Hively. He got in on the hands of Andrews and sawed him off a little bit, and Andrews just hit a slow roller. And now Lars Anderson, a very dangerous, powerful left-handed hitter. Yesterday, Anderson had 2 hits in 5 at-bats, including 2 runs batted in and a run scored himself. That was in the 8th inning. The 2 runs that he drove in made it 9-7, and then when he scored, it made it 9-8, and that was as close as the Alligators would get. Left-hand hitter with a lot of power. He had 5 home runs on the season, and the pitch is a strike fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Of course, I talked about it yesterday. Anderson is a native of California. He spent some time with the Boston Red Sox in the big leagues. 0-1, and the pitch from Hively. Fastball is low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Anderson played for the Red Sox from 2010 to 2012, getting a few cups of coffee in the bigs. Almost exactly 8 years ago to the day, September 6th was the day he made his Major League debut, 2010. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch. A curveball, and that's a beauty. Strike 2. Hively is going to try to do what yesterday Logan Grigsby in relief could not do, and that's throw his breaking ball for strikes. Lars Zamite Price, the runner on third base. There are 2 outs in the top of the first, no score. This is game 2, best of 5. And Hively from the stretch, the pitch on the way. Fastball missed inside. Close pitch. I think Anderson was looking for something out over the plate. He stands very close to the plate from the left-handed batter's box. He has an open stance. And that pitch was inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner on third is Lars Zamite Price. Lars Anderson is at the plate. Hively is set, the pitch. A chopper on the ground to the right side on 1 big bounce to the first baseman Glaser. He fields it and steps on first to end the inning. 3 unassisted. And the Alligators strand a leadoff walk. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base at the end of a half inning of play here in Heidenheim. No score between the Alligators and the Heideköpfe. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, Game 2, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the bottom of the first inning. This is game 2 of the Bundesliga semifinal. And on the mound and pitching, the left-hander Wilson Lee. And the lineup that he's going to face looks like this. Sasha Lutz leading off, playing left field. Jay Pesci, the third baseman, bats second. Gary Owens in center field, batting third. Mitch Nilsson playing right field today. He had a long home run in yesterday's game. He's batting cleanup. Simon Göring, the catcher, with 4 runs batted in yesterday. He's batting 5th. Ludwig Glaser also had a base hit and an RBI. He's the first baseman, batting 6th. Johannes Krum, the designated hitter today, he's batting 7th. Philip Schultz, the shortstop, he's going to bat 8th. And Simon Liedke, who got the save in relief of yesterday's game, he's going to bat 9th and play second base today. The defensive alignment for the Solingen Alligators looks like this. Wilson Lee is on the mound, working with catcher Johannes Weidemann. Around the infield, only one change, and that is Niels Hartkopf playing second base. Andrews is playing third. Daniel Sanchez playing short. Hartkopf, like I mentioned, is playing second, and Dustin Hughes is at first. The outfield is Lars Anderson in left, Lars Zameitpreis in center, and Marcus Stritzek in right field. And so we are ready to begin. Solingen did not score in the top of the first, so now Heidenheim with Sasha Lutz, Jay Pesci, and Gary Owens will try to get it going against Wilson Lee, the left-hander from Australia. On the year, in 116 innings, he had a 3.5 ERA, roughly. 63 walks, 139 strikeouts, but his last 2 starts of the season, he was a little more wild than usual. His last weekend, he walked 7 in 5 innings, and a week before that, he walked 6 in 6 innings. Sasha Lutz at the plate. First pitch is inside, ball 1. We are underway. Lutz in yesterday's game walked 3 times and was hit. And then he struck out twice, so he was 0 for 2, but he was on base 4 times and scored 2 runs. Left-hand hitter with power against the lefty Wilson Lee. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The Heidenheim fans were pretty quiet in the top of the first inning, while they're making more noise now with their boys am Schlag, as we say here in Deutschland. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sasha Lutz. Wilson Lee, the left-hander, kicks and deals. It's high. 2 balls and a strike. Lee falling off the mound to the third base side. Last year, and in fact the last 3 years, Wilson Lee had played for the Bonn Capitals. Actually, for the 4 years he played in Bonn since 2014. The 2-1 pitch to Sasha Lutz. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Lee spent 4 years with the Bonn Capitals, and then last year towards the end of the year, I don't know if he was suffering from arm injury or what, but his pitching effectiveness went way downhill. This year he's been pretty good all the way through. There's the 2-2 pitch to Sasha. Popped up, foul ground off to the left. Giving chase is the third baseman Ben Andrews. That ball bangs up on top of the Alligators dugout. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wilson Lee, birthday is December 12th, 1991, so he will be 27 in a few months. Spent a little bit of time in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. Also has pitched for Drazi Brno in the Czech Republic. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. It's popped up, right side, foul ground. Weidemann throws the mask away, and that ball is actually out of play up onto the hill. So we'll do it again. Sasha with a couple swings and misses and a couple of swings and pop-ups. As there are more fans filing into the ballpark. The hillside is pretty full. The grandstands have some open seats, but everybody likes to sit over by the Heideköpfe dugout. The 2-2 is high, and now the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wilson Lee trying to keep Sasha Lutz off base to start the game. Here's the payoff pitch. It's a line drive down the right field line, and it's fair, and it gets past Stritzek all the way to the wall. Lutz is on his way to second base. He is there standing with a double, and that's how the ball game begins for the Heideköpfe. Let's take a look at this pitch on the replay. Sasha got a pitch inside on the 3-2 and really rocketed it down that right field line. Nothing Stritzek could do except go get it off the tarp. Good throw to get it back in, but Sasha Lutz now at second base for Jay Pecci. Switch hitter batting right. And the pitch. Pecci shows bunt, takes a breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Pecci in yesterday's game was 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored. He was looking down for the signs from Klaus Eckle. Heideköpfe fans in full force right now. 1 strike to the pitch. And that fastball is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, it was already a long at bat from Wilson Lee to Sasha Lutz. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lutz off second, nobody out. Bottom of the first, no score, and the pitch. A chopper to the right side, and it's off the glove of Hughes into right field for a base hit. Lutz is coming around, and he will score without a throw. 1-0 Heidenheim. I believe they're going to score that a single for Pecci. It was a big chopper. Justin Hughes had to leap high in the air. The ball hit the webbing of his glove. One could make the argument that he should have had it. Take another look at it on the replay. Well, he reacted quickly, and it was just off his glove and into right field. That's a base hit. And an RBI for Jay Pecci, and Heidenheim draws first blood. They lead 1-0, and now Gary Owens will step up to the plate with the crowd roaring already here in Heidenheim. Pecci on first base, a short lead, and the pitch. Breaking ball is inside. So Pecci on that first pitch was actually headed back to first base. Pecci not as quick as he used to be. A big lead, and the 1-0. A drive high and deep left center field. Back goes Zamai-Price. He's in front of the warning track, and he makes the catch. Pecci had gone all the way to second base, and now he has to scamper back to first. Gary Owens hit that ball off the end of the bat and just missed hitting a home run. Good play by Lars Zamai-Price. Let's look at this one again on the replay. See where the pitch was. Just a little bit towards the end of the bat. Zamai-Price went back. You could see that he had a read on it the whole way. And so now Mitch Nilsson will step up to the plate. Nilsson batting right-handed. There's one away. Pecci at first, 1-0 Heidenheim, and the pitch is low to Mitch Nilsson. 1 ball, no strikes. Nilsson in yesterday's game was 1 for 3. That one was a long one. It might still be going. He drove in 2 runs. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Nilsson. There's a fly ball, center field. Zamai-Price started in. Now he's racing back, and it's over his head, and it lands on the warning track. Pecci lumbering around third base. He's being waved. Here's the throw from Daniel Sanchez to the plate, and Pecci's out by about 10 feet. The relay throw from Daniel Sanchez was up the first base side, but Pecci, like I said, not as fast as he used to be, and he's thrown out at home for the second out. That was a very good play. Let's take another look at this on the replay. Mitch Nilsson goes to second on a double. Zamai-Price misread the ball. He started in, then had to race back. The ball was over his head, but Pecci is thrown out for the second out. The throw goes 8-6-2. Great throw by Daniel Sanchez. And Pecci never came close to home plate. Well, just like yesterday, lots of action in this one. It's 1-0. We've had a runner thrown out at home plate already, and Simon Göring steps up to the plate. Mitch Nilsson now the runner on second base. Wilson Lee from the stretch, and he steps off. Nils Hartkopf was running in behind Nilsson at second base. Lee never even looked at him. Lee was looking out towards right field. Simon Göring in yesterday's game was 3 for 5 with 4 runs batted in. Nilsson on second base, 2 outs, and the pitch from Lee is high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The Heidenheim fans know how to make it uncomfortable for opposing teams. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch from Lee. Line drive left field, that is going to fall for a base hit. Nilsson is going to be waved around, and the ball gets past Lars Anderson and rolls all the way to the warning track. Nilsson scores, and Göring ends up at second base. That is going to be a single and an RBI, I believe, and an error. It's 2-0. Well, let's look at this one on the replay. Göring lined a base hit, and then he goes to second on an E7. So a couple of shaky outfield plays this inning. First, Zamit Preuss misreading the fly ball. And this one, that's a straight-up error for Lars Anderson. He tried to pick it up off of his glove side. But Nilsson rather, was being waved around before Anderson made the error, so I'm going to give Göring an RBI. And now Ludwig Glaser, again a runner on second. The pitch is high, ball one ball, no strikes. Well, Heidenheim scoring 2 runs here in the first inning. 2 runs on 4 hits. There's been the error. 1-0 on Glaser, the pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner, fastball. Glaser yesterday 1 for 5 with a run batted in. Wilson Lee stepped off for a moment. He's back on the rubber now. Simon Göring, the runner on second base. There are 2 outs in the inning. 2 runs are in. And Glaser asks for time and receives it. Wilson Lee is ready, and now the 1-1. A ground ball to the shortstop. Sanchez fields it and whips it across for out number 3. But the Heideköpfe, thanks to 4 hits, they get 2 runs. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base. At the end of 1 inning of play here in Heidenheim, it is Heidenheim 2, Solingen 0. This is Game 2 of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the top of the second inning here in Heidenheim. Heidenheim leading by a score of 2-0. And R.J. Hively will face Wilson Lee to start things here in the top of the second. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Lee in yesterday's game was 4 for 5 with a run scored and a run batted in. Right-hand hitter with power. The 0-1. Chopped on the ground slowly to the left side. It's cut off by Pecci. He sidearms it across in time for the first out. Well, Pecci made the most important defensive play in yesterday's game. That was in the 8th inning with 1 out, runners on first and third. He threw out Wilson Lee at the plate on a very similar ground ball. This time all he had to do was fire it across the diamond for the easy first out. Now Dustin Hughes, the number 6 hitter in the order. He'll be followed by Niels Hartkopf, 5, 6, and 7 here. And R.J. Hively deals to Hughes. The fastball is outside. That was pitch number 20 for R.J. in this game. as he did not have to work as hard as Lee did in the bottom of the first. Here's the 1-0 to Hughes. Swing and a miss. Very late on the fastball, 1-1. Hively had some excellent performances throughout the course of the year. One of the ones that I personally saw was actually a loss for him. Here's the 1-1, low and outside. He pitched 8 2/3 innings of shutout baseball against the Haar Disciples and then lost on a walk-off single. And the final score of that game was 1-0, but it was a great pitching performance from Hively. The 2-1 pitch to Hughes. Hit in the air to left field and deep. Sasha Lutz drifting over to the alleyway. He's under it and puts it away for the second out. That ball got in on the hands of Dustin Hughes, and I don't think he quite got the fat part of the bat to it, and he flies out. Nice play by Sasha to cover a lot of ground. The ballpark plays very small here in Heidenheim. The deepest part is probably right center field. So now Niels Hartköpfe will step up to the plate. Hartköpfe did an excellent job in relief yesterday for the Alligators. But by the time he came in, it was too little too late. The pitch is high and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Although it was Hartköpfe that allowed the 2 inherited runners to score in the 7th. And then gave up the home run to Mitch Nielsen. Here's the 1-0. Low and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Hartköpfe did not bat in yesterday's game. 2-0 the count to him. Here it comes. And that pitch is high. Hartköpfe, a former national team player, on the regular season he batted .210. Only 22 hits in 105 at-bats. So just a shade of his former self. Here's the 3-0. And it's a strike. I remember a couple of years ago, Hartköpfe had a 4-hit day here in the playoffs, including a home run. So don't let those low numbers fool you. He can still hit. 3 balls and a strike from Hively to Hartköpfe. Swing and a miss late on a high fastball, 3-2. Foul tipped it, in fact. Hively trying to have a 1-2-3 second inning. Heidenheim leading 2-0. 2 outs, nobody on, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Niels Hartköpfe. And the right-hander has his sign and starts the motion. Here it comes. A ground ball slowly hit to the shortstop, Philip Schultz. He gobbles it up and throws it across for out number 3. Nothing across the board for the Solingen Alligators in the top of the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second inning here in Heidenheim. It's the Heideköpfe 2, the Alligators nothing. This is Game 2 of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the bottom of the second inning. Tim Collins with you here, along with the help of Joshua Elgart running the outfield camera. Hope you're enjoying your day wherever you may be. It is 2-0 Heidenheim leading the Solingen Alligators here in Game 2 of a best-of-5 series between the Alligators and Heideköpfe. Heidenheim won yesterday by a score of 9-8. And Wilson Lee is going to go back out there. He threw 20 pitches in the first inning, and he'll face 7, 8, 9. Johannes Krumm, who takes a ball on the first pitch. And then Philipp Schultz and Simon Liedke. Krumm in yesterday's game went 0 for 3 with a couple of walks. Wilson Lee's 1-0 pitch coming right now. It's high, 2-0. Lee didn't throw a lot of pitches in the first inning, but he was hit hard. And only 12 of his 20 pitches were strikes. And he's behind here, 2-0 on Krumm. And now the next one is high, 3 balls and no strikes. (3-0) on Johannes Krumm. He'll be taking here, I think. And he takes a strike at the knees. 3-1. Johannes, during the regular season, did have a couple of home runs. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss. He was swinging for a home run there. Krumm batted .246 with 2 homers, 9 runs batted in, 3 walks, 15 strikeouts, however. OPS of around 700. This ball is popped foul back here over my head, thankfully. And it goes out of the ballpark, and there go all the kids. Full count. A bright sunny day here in Heidenheim, the 3-2. Taken low for ball 4. Krumm laying off an off-speed pitch, and he's aboard. And that will bring up Philipp Schultz. Schultz is a switch hitter. He will bat right-handed against the left-handed throwing Wilson Lee. Schultz in yesterday's game was 1 for 3. He also walked twice. Krumm off first base. The pitch is taken low as Schultz was showing bunt and pulled it back. There you see Johannes Krumm on first base. And the 1-0 pitch is a slider that comes into the strike zone, strike 1. Again, Schultz was showing bunt and he pulled it back. One ball, one strike. Schultz showing bunt again. And the pitch. And he hits a huge chopper. That's a base hit into left field. That ball bouncing 30 feet into the air. And runners on first and second. That is what you call a kangaroo bounce single. Let's watch this on the replay. He shows bunt and he pulls it back. The Butcher Boy, Andrews at third, was charging, but the ball bounced in front of the infield dirt, right in front of Schultz, and the next time it landed was in the outfield. That's how far it bounced on the first bounce. The hard dirt and also the lip of the grass has an angle to it, and so right now Wayno out to the mound to have a chat with Wilson Lee. No activity in the bullpen, but first and second, and you have Simon Liedke coming up to the plate. He will be bunting. Liedke is having a conversation with Klaus Ekle down the third baseline. And now Jens Weider out to the mound to break up the meeting. As Wayno is discussing strategy, the question is, will the Alligators put the wheel play on? And that being where Andrews charges from third. Sanchez, the shortstop, would have to go cover third to try to cut down the runner over there. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. Simon Liedke, who was a hero from the pitching side yesterday, going to try and move the runners up now. Right-hand hitter, and he squares, and he lays down a perfect bunt, fielded by Lee. He's got one play, and he barely gets Liedke, who was hustling down the line, and the other runners move to second and third. That is textbook right there, what Simon just did. He deadened it perfectly. Take another look at this on the replay. I mean, that is just a beautiful bunt. No chance for Lee to go anywhere else with that. And Sasha Lutz will come to the plate now with runners on second and third and one out. The infield is going to play back. It's 2-0 Heidenheim. There's one out. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Sasha Lee doubled his first time and scored. Krum and Schultz, the base runners. The pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Weidemann. Ball 1. Krum at third, Schultz at second. Bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Heidenheim. Wilson Lee is laboring. Lee had Sasha Lutz in a full count his first time, and Lutz ripped the double down the line to start the game. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it is a fastball high. 2 balls and no strikes now. Inning began with a walk to Johannes Krum, then Philip Schultz hit a kangaroo bouncer through the left side. And then the perfect sacrifice put the runners on second and third. Now the count 2-0 on Sasha Lutz. Lee taking a long time to get the sign, and now Lutz asks for time. Weidemann going through the signs. And now Lee has one he likes. He comes set. 2-0. Here's the pitch. And it missed low and outside, ball 3, 3-0. Now Sasha is a guy who I'm sure has the green light if he wants to swing 3-0. And I'm sure Wilson Lee also knows that. One out, second and third, the pitch. Swing and a miss. And he did, in fact, swing 3-0. And he did not get cheated. Krum the runner at third, Schultz the runner at second. 3-1 to Sasha Lutz with one out. The pitch, swing and a miss. He threw him an off-speed pitch, and that was an excellent pitch by Wilson Lee. That was one of the better pitches he's thrown. Lutz nearly twisted himself into the ground chasing that one. And now the count is full, 3-2. You know Lee really wants a strikeout here. Infield is playing back. A ground ball will score a run. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. The ball was in the dirt and blocked by Weidemann. He tags out Lutz, and that's the second out. A very important second out for Wilson Lee. Look at the pitch on the replay. He threw the same pitch on 3-2 that he threw on 3-1. Looks like a changeup, and it sort of died down and away, and Lutz could not lay off. So now it will take a 2-out hit for the Heideköpfe to score in this inning. Jay Pesci will be the man to try and do it. He singled his first time and was thrown out at home plate. And the pitch, a pop-up left side into shallow left field. Sanchez, the shortstop, is out. He's under it and puts it away to end the inning. So a good job by Wilson Lee. Runners on second and third and only one out, and the Heideköpfe do not score. No runs on one hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. We go to the third inning here in Heidenheim. It is 2-0 Heideköpfe. This is Game 2 of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to Heidenheim on a beautiful sunny day. This is Game 2 of the 2018 Bundesliga semifinal, and Heidenheim leading Solingen by a score of 2-0. They lead the series 1 game to nothing, and R.J. Hively back on the mound for the top of the third. And he's going to deal with Marcus Stritzek, the number 8 hitter. First pitch is a ball outside, and then Johannes Weidemann, and then the top of the order, Lars Zamait-Preuss. The Alligators have had 1 base runner, and that was Zamait-Preuss leading off the game. Here's the 1-0. A high drive to center field. Gary Owens is drifting to his right. A little bit back, he's under it and puts it away. 1 out. Sounded good off the bat from Stritzek, but it was hit too high, and then Gary Owens had a beat on it the whole way. So one quick out here in the 3rd inning, and that will bring up Johannes Weidemann. Weidemann in yesterday's game had 1 hit in 5 at-bats. R.J. Hively, the right-hander. I mentioned that well, the first pitch is a fastball in there on the inside corner. Hively's last 5 innings against the Haar Disciples, he did not allow a hit. And he's worked through the first 2 1/3 so far today without allowing a hit. Here's the 0-1. A big chopper to short. On the 3rd bounce, Philip Schultz fields and throws across. Actually, it was the 2nd bounce, but who cares? Schultz with a strong throw to get his man at first, and there are 2 quick outs. And now Lars Zamait-Preuss, the only base runner for the Alligators so far through the first 2 2/3. He walked to start the ball game and made it all the way to 3rd base and was stranded there. Then the Heideköpfe scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st, and that's where we are. 2-0 Heidenheim with 2 outs, nobody on base, top of the 3rd inning. Zamait-Preuss, a right-hand hitter. He's not using batting gloves. Here's the first pitch. Fastball missed inside, ball 1. Hively, the right-hander, working quickly, comes back with a 1-0. Inside, 2-0, same spot. Well, it's much quieter in the ballpark when Solingen is batting. 2-0, inside, ball 3. Zamait-Preuss, 1 pitch away from drawing his 2nd walk of the game. Lars drew 1 walk yesterday and had a couple of hits. 3-0 he'll be taking. Here it comes. And it's a strike over the inside corner. 3-1 from R.J. Hively to Lars Zamait-Preuss. The next one on the way. Strike 2, another fastball. Everything has been inside from Hively to Zamait-Preuss. He has not flirted with the outside part of the plate. And he toes the rubber 1 more time. And here comes the payoff pitch right now. Swing and a foul back behind the plate. Another fastball inside. Zamait-Preuss was a little bit eaten up by it, and pitch got in on him. Was able to fight it off. Count still 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Heideköpfe. 4 of those hits were in the 1st inning. 0-0 and 1 error for the Solingen Alligators. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Hively to Zamait-Preuss, who now asks for time. Hively didn't budge from the mound. He just stared in. Now he's got his sign and deals. A slow chopper to the 3rd baseman, Pecci, and in fact it's off of Zamait-Preuss's foot. So it's a foul ball. We'll do it again. You can see Zamait-Preuss hobbling around a little bit. See where this one hit him. We can look at it on the replay. Looked like it got him in that front foot. Called right away by the home plate umpire, Jens Weider. So still 3 balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 outs and nobody on base. We're in the top of the 3rd. 2-0 Heidenheim leading Solingen. We are in game 2 of the 2018 Bundesliga semifinal. And Hively starts the wind. Here's the payoff. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Zamait-Preuss goes down swinging. That's the first strikeout for R.J. Hively. And it was a tough 3-2 pitch. Hively has still not allowed a hit through the first 3 innings, just the 1 base runner. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd here in Heidenheim. It's the Heideköpfe 2, the Alligators nothing. This is 2018 Bundesliga semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to Heidenheim. It is 2-0 Heideköpfe over the Solingen Alligators. Here we're in the bottom of the third inning, and Gary Owens going to step up against Wilson Lee. The first pitch on the way, and it's a backdoor curveball, and it hits the corner, strike one. Owens flied to deep center field his first time. He's 0 for 1. And the 0-1. Fastball is high from Wilson Lee. Lee, that was Lee's 40th pitch of the game. One and one on Owens. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Heideköpfe in this inning. Here's the pitch. And it's a fastball too high. 2 balls and 1 strike. After Gary Owens, Mitch Nilsson and Simon Göring. And Wilson Lee starts the wind. Here's the 2-1. A huge chopper on one bounce to Daniel Sanchez from deep short. He fires to first, and he just got Owens hustling down the line. A good throw by Daniel Sanchez. That was another kangaroo ball to the left side, and Sanchez had no choice but to go to the deep shortstop position and field it. And he didn't have a lot of time to make the transfer, and he pulled it off beautifully. As we take a look at the replay, Mitch Nilsson is going to come up to the plate. Sanchez going to his right with a little leap and then firing across and just barely getting the hustling Gary Owens at first. So now Mitch Nilsson. Nilsson hit a drive over the center fielder's head his first time. And a slow curveball missed outside from Wilson Lee. 1 ball, no strikes. But he doubled and scored. One and 0 on Nilsson. The pitch on the way. Fastball is high. 2-0. Wilson Lee, when he falls off to the third base side of the rubber, has a tendency to look like he's uncomfortable on the mound, and right now he's adjusting his belt. Two 2-0 on Nilsson, the pitch. A ground ball to the left side. That's going to be a base hit between short and third into left field. No chance for Sanchez to get to that one, so Nilsson grounds a single. He's 2 for 2 in the game. And that's going to bring up Simon Göring. Mitch Nilsson on first base. Nilsson, by the way, 5 out of 6 in stolen base attempts. So we'll see if the Heideköpfe decide to do any running here. Simon Göring, his first time, singled and drove home a run. And Wilson Lee comes set, and the pitch. Line drive, base hit to center field. Nilsson is going to stop at second base as Zamaitkreuz gets it back in. Well, that was a rocket off the bat of Simon Göring. Take a look at this pitch on the replay. First pitch, fastball, out over the plate, and he lines it to the left of second base. Sanchez was playing Göring to pull, and so 2 on. For Ludwig Glaser. Glaser bounced to short his first time. Two on and 1 out. Infield looking for a double play. Here's the pitch. Curveball is in the dirt, and it's blocked by Weidemann. No advance. 1 ball and no strikes. Now the Heideköpfe fans are trying to vary their chants. They have the same melody, but different phrasing, I guess. They're going to yell their lungs out. 1-0 on Ludwig Glaser, right-hand hitter with power. And the pitch. That is a strike at the knees on the outside corner. Glaser does not run well. If he hits a ground ball, it is most certainly going to be a double play if it's at one of the Alligator defenders. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners leading first and second. There they go, the pitch. Ground ball to the right side. That's a base hit. Nilsson around third. He's coming to the plate, and he will score as the throw comes in and trickles off the glove of a leaping Dustin Hughes. First and third, and 3-0 Heidenheim on the RBI base hit off the bat of Ludwig Glaser. The hit and run was on. And it worked perfectly. Glaser hitting behind the runners as Nilsson and Göring were taking off, and Glaser did exactly what you're supposed to do. He hit it through that 4-hole on the right side, nothing Heideköpfe could do. And Stritzek's throw trickling off the glove of Dustin Hughes. So it is 3-0 Heidenheim now. There's one away still, runners on first and third. And Johannes Krum, the designated hitter, will step up to the plate. Krum walked and was stranded at third his first time. Now Göring is at third, and the runner at first is Glaser. Pitches a strike. Glaser is not a threat to steal, but he might take off and try to get in a rundown to give Göring a chance to score. Göring is a very good base runner. Lee is set. Here's the 0-1 to Krum. Swing and a miss. He was way out in front, 0-2. Three-0 Heidenheim. 0-2 on Krum. First and third with one out. And the pitch. A ground ball. That's a base hit to left field. Göring can walk home. Glaser stops at second base. It is 4-0 on the RBI single off the bat of Johannes Krum. Let's take a look at that one on the replay. It wasn't hit all that hard, but a big hole between Sanchez and Andrews on the left side of the infield. And Krum just put it right between the two. And so Heidenheim opens up a 4-0 lead, and that will bring up Philip Schultz, who is 1 for 1 today. Schultz is showing bunt, and he takes a strike and taking off for third base and successfully stealing Ludwig Glaser. He caught Ben Andrews by surprise down at third base. Let's look at this on the replay. The pitch was taken for a strike. He was showing bunt. He pulled it back. Actually, the pitch was low for a ball. Glaser was basically running out of a secondary lead and decided to take off on Weidemann, and he made it. So first and third. Glaser steals third. Now probably not going to bunt anymore. 1 ball, no strikes to Philip Schultz with Krum at first base. Glaser at third, the pitch. And the squeeze is on, and it works perfectly. A beautiful bunt. Shoveled to first base by Wilson Lee for the out, but coming home to score is Ludwig Glaser. 5-0 Heidenheim. Give Philip Schultz an RBI. Wasn't a suicide squeeze, it was more of a safety squeeze, as Glaser from third was not charging home as Lee delivered the pitch, but perfectly executed. And a good play by Lee to get the out at first base. Schultz almost got a base hit out of that. And the first pitch is a ball to Simon Lidke. Runner on second base, Johannes Krum, 2 down, 5-0 Heidenheim. 5 runs on 8 hits for the Heideköpfe. And the pitch to Lidke. A fly ball hit to right center field. Stritzek is there. He's waiting for it to come down and catches it for the third out. But the Heideköpfe send 7 men to the plate. They get 3 more runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. 3 runs on 4 hits. No errors and 1 left on base. We go to the 4th inning here in Heidenheim. It is 5-0 Heideköpfe. This is Game 2 of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal. Präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We move to the top of the fourth inning. Heidenheim 5, Solingen nothing. Tim Collins, along with the camera work of Joshua Elgart, with you here. And for the Alligators, they will send 2, 3, and 4. Daniel Sanchez, Ben Andrews, and Lars Anderson for their second look at right-hander R.J. Hively. And the first pitch is hit in the air to right center field, a high fly ball. Owens calls off the right fielder Nielsen and makes the catch. One pitch, one out. R.J. Hively has not allowed a hit so far. He's only allowed one base runner. That was the leadoff walk to start the game. Other than that, it's been a walk in the park for him. And now Ben Andrews, who grounded to shortstop his first time, will step up. That was R.J. Hively's 42nd pitch. Meanwhile, in Regensburg, Bonn leading by a score of 7-0 in the other semifinal game. Ben Andrews, the right-hand hitter, and the pitch from Hively. Fastball is high, ball 1. I'd like to thank those of you that have tuned in wherever you may be, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on meinsportradio.de. Don't forget, if you're on the move or you have to maybe drive somewhere, you can listen on the app. There's a ground ball right to the shortstop, Philip Schultz, from a knee. He fields and throws to get Ben Andrews for the second out. Schultz is a very fundamentally sound shortstop. He makes the routine plays and has good range and accurate throwing arm. He's got good hands, and he's become a very good all-around player with his ability to switch hit and get on base and steal. 2 outs, and that will bring up Lars Anderson. Anderson flied out his first time. Excuse me, grounded out to first his first time. And the fastball outside, ball 1 on the first pitch. It is 5-0 Heidenheim. We are in the top of the fourth. The 1-0 from Hively. This is low and inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Two outs, nobody on base, and the 2-0. That's outside, ball 3. Hively going in, out, in against Lars Anderson, and he's behind 3-0, and you can see he was upset with himself that he missed with that one. Snapping at the ball as it was returned to him by Simon Göring. The 3-0 pitch. That's a strike right through there. Anderson was taking all the way. And the pitch is low, ball 4, and Hively upset with himself after a 2-out walk. And that will bring up Wilson Lee. Lee hit a ground ball to third his first time. Hively has basically been pitching to contact, I guess you could say, in this game. He only has 1 strikeout. He has 7 ground ball outs. And we are 2 outs into the 4th inning. Wilson Lee, a right-hand hitter. Anderson on first base with a short lead being held on by Ludwig Glaser. And from the stretch, Hively's pitch is a curve, and it's up and in, ball 1. Lee wears the number 17. Trying to help himself offensively. 1 ball, no strikes. Hively has the sign. Now he comes set. Anderson extends his lead from first. The 1-0. A big chopper up the middle, and it is gloved behind second by Schultz. He spins and throws to Liedtke to get the force. That was a great play by Philip Schultz. And it keeps the Alligators hitless in this ball game. Let's take a look at that one on the replay. An excellent play by Philip Schultz. He ranged a long way to his left. It was a big chopper. We've seen a couple of those in this game. And Lee, bidding for the Alligators' first hit, is turned away on a fielder's choice. The play goes 6-4. Just barely got him at second base. Anderson sliding in. So we will go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Heidenheim 5, Solingen nothing. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to Heidenheim. It's the bottom of the 4th inning. The Heidenheim Heideköpfe at 5, the Solingen Alligators nothing. And Tim Collins on the microphone along with Josh Elgart behind the camera. And Sasha Lutz, the top of the order, will get things going against Wilson Lee, who's thrown 56 pitches, given up 9 hits, 5 runs, only 4 of which have been earned. And the first pitch is bunted up the third baseline, and it hugs the line for a little bit, but then trickles foul for strike 1. Lutz is 1 for 2. He doubled to start the game and scored, then he struck out his next time. It'll be Sasha Lutz, Jay Pecci, and Gary Owens. 1, 2, 3 in the order for the Heideköpfe. They scored 2 runs in the first inning. And they scored 3 in the third. We are now in the 4th, and Wilson Lee's pitch is a fastball that misses off the plate inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's no activity in the Alligators bullpen. There's the 1-1. And the pitch is low and outside, 2-1. Lee, if you look through his pitching history, his last couple of starts, he went well over 100 pitches over the course of 5 and 6 innings, respectively. His highest pitch count this year was 152, which is high. The 2-1, that's a curveball, and it was a good one in there for a strike, 2-2. Pitch counts like that in the Bundesliga, though, are not abnormal. Ryan Bollinger last year had a high of 160 against Paderborn in the clinching game in the quarterfinal. 2-2 to Sasha Lutz, the pitch on the way. A little squibber foul behind the plate, and he stays alive. Sasha was way out in front of that one. Sounds like an Oakland A's game here. 2-2 to Sasha Lutz, who's seen a lot of pitches in this game from Wilson Lee. The pitch, swing and a miss. He got him on that off-speed pitch again. That's the same thing that happened in Sasha's last at-bat. Change up down and in, and Sasha swinging way over the top of it. Maybe it's a curveball. Only 2 strikeouts in the game for Wilson Lee, but both times it's been Sasha Lutz. And that's going to bring up Jay Pecci. Pecci 1 for 2. And there's that little looping curveball, and it drops in for a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1 from Lee. Line drive off of Lee. It caroms to the second baseman, Heideköpfe, and it goes right through his legs. And Pecci hustling for 2. The throw, he is in there as the throw gets past Sanchez. And then Andrews at third base also fumbled it. The Solingen Alligators playing a little hot potato on that one. That's going to be a base hit and then an error, I believe. We'll see how that's scored. First of all, it was lined off of Wilson Lee's backside. It caromed right to Niels Heideköpfe. That might not even be a base hit. Heideköpfe probably had time to make the play to first base, and then the throw went past Daniel Sanchez and ended up on the third base bag. Right now, Wayno's going to have a look at Wilson Lee and see how he's feeling after taking that line drive. And I believe, let's take a look at the scoring on this. I think they're going to give 2 errors to Niels Heideköpfe on the same play. So the first error allows Pecci to reach, and the second error allows him to reach second, because a good throw would have had him. That's how you score that. So Wilson Lee apparently is okay. But 2 errors, and there goes Pecci for third. The pitch is a curve inside, no chance. Vitamin, no chance to throw. As Jay Pecci taking advantage of a somewhat crestfallen infield for the Solingen Alligators. And that is something that the Heideköpfe, a professional team, they are really good at taking advantage of these moments. You let your guard down for 1 second, they will try to do anything they can to take advantage. The 1-0 to Owens. Curveball is way high. 2 balls and no strikes. Wilson Lee's curveball does not have much on it. And he's missed badly with it. 2-0. The pitch, a chopper over the mound. Charging on it as Heideköpfe. He's got no play, and Pecci scores. It's an RBI single. Heidenheim leads 6-0. Give Gary Owens an RBI. There's been a whole bunch of these big kangaroo bounce base hits. This one cued off the end of the bat, and it went over the mound. Heideköpfe had the charge from the infield grass, and all he could do was put it in his pocket. Pecci jogging home easily on that play, and now Mitch Nilsson steps up to the plate, and they've got Owens picked off. The throw to second base is in time. He's out. Owens was going on first move and got picked off, so this time Wilson Lee was ready for it. So the play goes 1-3-6. And now there are 2 outs and nobody on base. Mitch Nilsson at the plate. Heidenheim 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors. Solingen, no runs on no hits and 3 errors. And the curveball is down low and it skips off of Vitamin, out of play. Well, it has been an ugly game for the Alligators so far. Wilson Lee hasn't had his best stuff, and the defensive play has been shoddy. There's the 1-0 to Nilsson. And the fastball missed down low, ball 2. 2-0. Heidenheim 6, Solingen nothing. Here in the 4th inning, Wilson Lee, the left-hander, starts the wind. Here's the 2-0 to Mitch Nilsson. And it's high and outside, 3-0. Well, since the beginning of the game, Lee has just not looked comfortable on the mound. He's sometimes falling off to the third base side, and sometimes he's flying way open and letting his fastball sail. The 3-0. There's the strike. Nilsson was taking all the way, 3-1. 3-1 to Mitch Nilsson. Here it comes. A fly ball hit off to the right side, and that'll be out of play. It lands over in front of the Heidenheim. 3-2 now the count. Now the run this inning, Jay Pecci hit a hard line drive and ended up caroming through the legs of Niels Heideköpfe as this pitch is low, ball 4, nowhere close. Nilsson walks. And Pecci reached first on the error and then went to second after Heideköpfe threw the ball away trying to get Pecci at second base. So Niels Heideköpfe making 2 errors on the same play. And now Simon Göring will step up to the plate. Göring, who is 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. Also has a run batted in. Nilsson on first base, big lead, not going. The pitch is in there for a strike on the inside corner to Simon. 0-1. Infield back. There are 2 down in the inning, but Wilson Lee has struggled in every inning. He's had base runners all over the place. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way. Instead, a check on Nilsson at first base, and he is back. Heidenheim 6, Solingen nothing. Game 2. Heidenheim trying to take a 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 series. 0-1, here it comes. There goes Nilsson. The pitch is high, and the throw to second base on a bounce. Not in time. Nilsson gets in there. Vitamin did that yesterday as well. He threw from his knees to try to catch a would-be base stealer. That throw, he got rid of it very quickly. Received on a bounce by the second baseman Heideköpfe. But Nilsson steals second. And so he is in scoring position. for Simon Göring, who has a 1 ball and 1 strike count. Here it comes. Ground ball pulled down the third baseline, foul. Strike 2. Heidenheim scored 2 in the first, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth. RBIs from Simon Göring. Mitch Nilsson with a double. Ludwig Glaser with an RBI. This inning, Gary Owens with an RBI single. Here's the 1-2. Line drive down the left field line, hooking, and it is foul. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Göring out in front of that pitch from Wilson Lee. But Lee really laboring out there. He does not look comfortable. He's up to 76 pitches. Meanwhile, for the other side, RJ Hively is throwing a no-hitter, albeit with 1 strikeout and 2 walks. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mitch Nilsson at second base. Simon Göring at the plate against Wilson Lee from the stretch. And Nilsson dancing around, and Lee steps off. Lee taking a long time. Now he's got a sign he likes. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball is in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Weidemann. Weidemann has done a good job blocking pitches. There are no wild pitches so far in this game. And Lee's breaking ball has not had a lot of bite to it. The 2 best ones he's thrown in the game were both to Sasha Lutz. Those were his only 2 strikeouts of the game. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mitch Nilsson, the runner on second base. Simon Göring at the plate. And the pitch. A hard ground ball, foul again down the third baseline, past Klaus Ekle down into the corner. Simon battling tough. Simon with his 2 hits today is 5 for 7 in the series with 5 runs batted in. The Heideköpfe with 10 hits in this game already. They had 10 all yesterday. And Lee taking a long time to get his sign. Now he's got one from Weidemann. He comes set. Runner leading off second, Mitch Nilsson, the 2-2. A ground ball pulled foul yet again down the third baseline. Simon Göring, one of the toughest guys to strike out in the Bundesliga. In fact, on the season, he struck out a grand total of 4 times in 145 plate appearances. He drew 16 walks. He batted .500, 60 for 120. And all that while battling a sore shoulder. But Wilson Lee is having to deal with him right now, and so far it's not ending the way he would like. 2-2 with 2 outs on Simon Göring. Mitch Nilsson on second base. Lee comes home. A high fly ball, leap to left center field. Zamite Price back to the wall. Goodbye! A 2-run home run off the bat of Simon Göring after he fouled off pitch after pitch after pitch. And he is 3 for 3. And it is 8-0 Heidenheim. Let's take a look at that one on the replay. What a battle it was. Wayne O is out to the mound, and I believe that's going to be it for Wilson Lee. But the pitch, it was that little curveball, and he hung it right over the center of the plate. Zamite Price went back to try to climb the wall, but that ball was well over. And Simon Göring rounding the bases, hitting a 2-run home run. And he appeared to be a little bit emotional as he reached home plate. So It looks like Marcus Stritzek is going to come on and pitch for the Solingen Alligators. We will take a short break for the pitching change. It is 8-0 Heidenheim here in the 4th inning. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. So the new pitcher for the Solingen Alligators is the 24-year-old right-hander Marvin Boltz. Boltz in 15 1/3 innings this year had an ERA of 5.28. And he's going to come on and he will have a clean beginning. There is one out in the inning. Ludwig Glaser will be the hitter. There's nobody on base as Simon Göring's 2-run home run cleared the bases. The first pitch to Glaser is inside for a ball. So Wilson Lee, 3 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 8 runs. Only 4 of them are earned, however. This inning, you have to remember, was extended because of that error. There's the 1-0. That is outside ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. One of the runs in the first inning was also unearned, and the 3 this inning are all unearned. So Wilson Lee, 8 runs, but only 4 earned. The pitch, that's inside and off the glove of the catcher. Ball 3, Marvin Boltz. In 15 1/3 innings, he walked 7, struck out 8, allowed 19 hits. It is 8-0 Heidenheim here in the bottom of the 4th. The 3-0 pitch, and it is a strike fastball at the knees on the inside corner. So today, much different from yesterday. Yesterday's ball game was a back and forth affair. This one, at least so far, it's all Heideköpfe. The 3-1, that is low for ball 4. It skips off the glove of Weidemann. So Marvin Boltz walks the first man he faces, and that will bring up Johannes Krumm. Krumm today has walked and singled. Glaser now, with that walk, he's been on base twice. And we're going to have a pinch runner for Ludwig Glaser, and that is Tristan Hurler. Excuse me. Yeah, Tristan Hurler is going to pinch run, and Sean Larry is going to pinch hit for Johannes Krumm. So Glaser is now out of the game, and I think we'll see Hurler play first base in the top of the 5th. So Sean Larry going to take over as the new designated hitter. And the pitch is inside ball 1. Larry was on the bench today against the left-handed Wilson Lee, but now that Lee is out of there, Klaus Echle wants to have his best offensive team in the lineup at all times. And Sean Larry is a part of that. Larry in yesterday's game had 1 hit and 3 at-bats. Right now time as we're waiting for something. And now Marvin Bolts comes set. Hurler on first base, the pitch is pulled down the first base line, fair ball, and it's going to go all the way into the corner. Hurler racing around second, headed to third. He will be held there. Larry arrives at second base with a double. Second and third with 2 outs for the Heideköpfe. Well, Sean hit a hard ground ball, and it hugged the first baseline and got past the dive of the first baseman, Dustin Hughes, and rolled along the line into deep right field, where it was grabbed. And Wilson Lee, by the way, is in right field now. So Lee stays in the game. And Stritzek is replaced by Bolts in the lineup. And right now there's a meeting on the mound between Bolts and Weidemann, and Jens Weider, the home plate umpire, goes out to break it up. So Marcus Stritzek out of the game for the Solingen Alligators. And the hitter will be Philip Schultz, a switch hitter. He will bat left-handed. Runners on second and third and 2 outs. The Heideköpfe trying to turn this into a 10-run game. There is a 10-run mercy rule in the Bundesliga, but it's only after 7 innings. The pitch is a strike from Marvin Bolts to Philip Schultz. Schultz today singled, and then he dropped down a squeeze bunt that worked perfectly, so he's 1 for 1 with an RBI. Runners on second and third. Tristan Hurler at third, Sean Larry at second. 0-1 to the switch-hitting Philip Schultz. The pitch, a ground ball to the first baseman, Hughes. He gets it on a big bounce and takes it to the bag for the out, and the inning is over. But the Heideköpfe have a big inning. They score 3 runs. All of them are unearned on 2 hits. There were 2 errors, and there were 2 left on base. So we go to the top of the 5th inning here in Heidenheim. The Heideköpfe 8, the Solingen Alligators 8, the Solingen Alligators nothing. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to Heidenheim. We are entering the top of the 5th inning. R.J. Hively has not allowed a hit through the first 4 innings. He's thrown 50 pitches, struck out 1 and walked 2. Those are the only 2 base runners he's allowed. And he will deal with 6, 7, and 8 Dustin Hughes. And the first pitch is on the corner for strike 1. Dustin Hughes, Niels Hartkopf, and then Marvin Bolts, who's going to have to bat. He went in for Marcus Stritzek. And Wilson Lee went in and played right field. Here's Hively's 0-1. Swing and a miss on that breaking ball, fading away from Hughes. 0-2 the count. Heidenheim won yesterday in a nail-biter, 9-8. Today they lead 8-0. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Take another look at this pitch to Dustin Hughes. Dropping down and away, and he swings over the top. That is the second strikeout for R.J. Hively. And that'll bring up Niels Hartkopf. And the pitch to him. Fastball strike on the outside corner. Hively, who had to sit and wait for quite a long time in the last half inning, comes out firing 4 consecutive strikes here in the 5th. And the 0-1. That's low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the next one on the way, 1-1. Swing and a miss. He waved at a breaking ball way outside. Hartkopf helping Hively on that one in the count 1-2. RJ kicks a little bit of dirt away from the front of the pitching rubber, but he is right back to work, ready to throw. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 5th, 8-0. Heidenheim. The pitch is low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Solingen Alligators with 2 measly old base runners, both via the walk in this game. And here's the 2-2 pitch from Hively. And it's inside, looked like a breaking pitch, and low, and the count full, 3-2. Solingen had the first batter of the game reach base and make it all the way to 3rd, but that's it. The 3-2, a chopper slowly hit to the right side, a big bounce for Liedke, and he fields it and flips it to Mitch Nielsen in time. That's 2 down here. In fact, Hurler has gone into right field, might as well mention that now. And Mitch Nielsen is the new first baseman for the Heideköpfe. 2 down here in the 5th inning. R.J. Hively still not allowed a hit to the Solingen Alligators. And Marvin Boltz will step up to the plate and hit for himself. First pitch to him. That's a fastball right through there, strike 1. Boltz batted a grand total of 4 times this year. He was 1 for 4. And the next pitch is just off the corner, away. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to him. Well, that's the risk, I guess, when you start the game without the DH. It's not like you can put him in there after. 1-1, swing and a foul to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pretty good cut by Marvin. Marvin, another tall, lanky fellow, wears number 23. He came on and had to put out the fire last inning. 1-2 the count to him. The pitch. Got him swinging on the slider down and away. Strikeout number 3 for R.J. Hively, the second one in the inning. And he has no-hit the Solingen Alligators through the first 5 innings. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Heidenheim. It is 8-0 Heideköpfe. This is game 2 of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to Heidenheim. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. My name is Tim Collins. along with the camera work of Joshua Elgart. Happy to be with you here on a sunny, beautiful September day, September the 9th, 2018. And a big crowd on hand, and so far they have been thrilled with what they've seen. 8 runs on 12 hits, no errors for the Heideköpfe. No runs on no hits and 3 errors for the Solingen Alligators. And for the Heideköpfe, Simon Liedtke steps up against Marvin Bolts, and the first pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. It'll be Simon Liedtke, and then the top of the order, Sasha Litz and Jay Pecci. As the Heideköpfe fans make some noise yet again here for the bottom of the 5th, and the pitch. That's a strike to Simon Liedtke. Liedtke has sacrificed and flied to center. He is 0 for 1, excuse me. Marvin Bolts on in relief of Wilson Lee, the 1-1 pitch. Hit off the end of the bat on 2 hops to the shortstop, Daniel Sanchez. A quick flip, and he gets his man at first. 1 down. Sanchez read that ball off the bat very well. Sometimes when a ball is hit directly at you, it can be very difficult to gauge how hard it's hit. Liedtke hit it off the end, and Sanchez calmly waited for it, and with very quick hands, got rid of it quickly, and fired it across to get Simon Liedtke by a step. So now Sasha Litz will step up to the plate. Litz today has doubled and scored and then struck out twice. This is his first look at Marvin Bolts. And the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. 8-0 Heidenheim. They scored 2 in the first, 3 in the third, 3 in the fourth. In the 4th inning, it was capped by a home run off the bat of Simon Göring. And the 0-1 pitch is up and in, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 2 runs scoring in the 1st inning, thanks to a Mitch Nilsson double and a Simon Göring single. Here's the 1-1. Fouled away 1 and 2. In the 3rd inning, Heidenheim had 4 base hits to score 3 runs, including an RBI single off the bat of Ludwig Glaser and another one off the bat of Johannes Krom. And then in the 4th inning, Nils Hartkampf made 2 errors on the same play. That allowed Pecci to get to second base, and then he scored. There's the 1-2 to Sasha Litz. Inside, just barely. Bolts wanted to know where it was. Let's take a look at it again. The count 2-2. You can see Vitamin had to move his body. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th, and the pitch hit hard up the middle, and that's through into center field. A base hit for Sasha Litz. He is now 2 for 4. Well, as I was saying, in the 4th inning, after Pecci came around to score, then Mitch Nilsson walked, and Simon Göring fouled off about 5 pitches, and then hit a long 2-run home run over the left center field fence, and that chased Wilson Lee. And since then, Marvin Bolts has been on the hill. And Bolts gives up a 1-out single. Now Jay Pecci will turn around, bat left-handed. Sasha on first base, not going. The pitch is a strike at the letters on the outside corner, 0-1 to Pecci. Marvin Bolts, his job is to just try to hold things where they are. There's the 0-1 to Pecci, and that off-speed pitch is way high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sasha on first base normally would be a threat to run, but with an 8-run lead, I kind of doubt it. He's 12 for 13 on the year, though. And the 1-1. That's taken for strike 2 at the knees on the outside corner. Pecci looking it all the way into the mitt of Jo Weidemann. Solingen has not been able to get anything going against R.J. Hively. Hively working on a no-hitter through 5 innings. The 1-2, a high pop, right side, foul ground. Hughes running over near the bullpen, and he will run out of room. That ball is well into the stands. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eight runs on 13 hits and no errors for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. No runs, no hits, 3 errors for the Alligators. 4 of the 8 runs are unearned. Pecci with a 1-2 count. Sasha Litz on first. There's 1 out in the inning. And the pitch from Bolts high and outside. 2-2 now to count. Pecci, a native Californian. And the 2-2 pitch coming. He popped it foul behind the plate. Swung at a pitch that was down and in and sort of squibbed it backwards. There you see Sasha Lutz on first base. Being held on by Justin Hughes. That's a couple of tall gentlemen over there. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Bolts to Pecci. The pitch on the way. High and outside, ball 3. So a full count. Maybe Sasha would be going here, but I still kind of doubt it. Up by 8 runs. The wind, by the way, is picking up and it's blowing out towards right field. 3-2. Runner not going. The pitch is popped up behind the plate. Weidemann gives it a look, but that is going to be back here, and it lands right in front of me. A couple of kids ready to pick it up as soon as it landed on the grass. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes on Jay Pecci. There were only 2 strikeouts for Solingen pitching against the Heideköpfe. And the more you put the ball in play, the more chances you have of getting a base hit. The payoff pitch, popped foul again back here. This one is over our head and just out of the ballpark. Well, Pecci has given Marvin Bolts a run for his money. I think that's the 4th foul ball. Well, last inning, Simon Göring fouled off 5 or 6 pitches before homering. And 3-2, the pitch on the way. High, ball 4. Well, the first 2 are on here against Marvin Bolts. And that will bring up Gary Owens. The Heideköpfe would love to make it a 10-run lead, because then they could try to shorten this ball game. And Gary Owens, the man at the plate, certainly capable of doing that. He is 1 for 3 today. He singled his last time and drove in a run. The pitch. Line drive over short. That is a base hit. Around third is Sasha Lutz. He's lumbering to the plate, and he's going to score. It is 9-0 on the RBI single off the bat of Gary Owens. He's now 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. Jay Pecci stopped at second base. Owens, chasing the first pitch, hit it off the end of the bat as we look at it on the replay. And that will bring up Mitch Nilsson. Owens with that big hitch in his swing, and he was ready for that fastball. A little bit away from him, but still plenty to get it over the shortstop Sanchez and into the outfield. So that'll bring up Mitch Nilsson. Nilsson going to bat left-handed. 9-0 Heidenheim in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nilsson has doubled, singled, and walked. He's scored 3 runs and driven 1 in. And the pitch. That's a strike at the knees on the outside corner, 0-1. Pecci at second, Owens at first. 9-0 Heidenheim here in the bottom of the 5th. Wilson Lee, the right fielder, is almost leaning against the right field fence. That's how deep he is for Mitch Nilsson. Marvin Bolts comes set, and the 0-1. A high fly ball, left field. Anderson drifting to his right, shades his eyes from the sun, and makes the catch. And both runners go back. That's the second out of the inning, rather, excuse me. And that's going to bring up Mr. Heideköpfe himself. Simon Göring. He's 3 for 3 today. He was 3 for 5 yesterday. He's got 3 runs batted in, a home run and 2 singles. And he's got runners on first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Right-handed hitter with power. Marvin Bolts from the stretch checks on the runners and deals. A ground ball pulled inside the bag down the third base line. Pecci around third. He's going to touch home plate. Owens being waved around. The ball rattles around in the corner, and Owens scores standing up. 2 more runs batted in for Simon Göring on a double, and it's 11-0 Heidenheim. Simon has 5 runs batted in today after yesterday having 4. And a ground ball, it hugged the third base line past the diving Andrews, and you see how it sort of rattled around in the corner. Anderson had to play it off the warning track and fire it back into Sanchez, who wisely just lobbed it back into Andrews. It is 11-0 Heideköpfe here in the bottom of the fifth, and it now officially is a mercy rule situation. If Solingen cannot score to make it less than a 10-run lead after 7 innings, this game will end. And so now Tristan Hurler will get his first at bat. He pinch ran for Ludwig Glaser. Hurler, a left-hand hitter. And the pitch to him. That's a strike on the inside corner. Tristan Hurler this year as a hitter batted .198. He had 19 hits and 96 at-bats. He did have a home run last year and also had some important hits for the Heideköpfe in the finale against Bonn. There's the 0-1, and he squibs it up the third baseline. That ball stays foul. 0-2 on Tristan. Now Heidenheim has scored 3 runs each of the last 3 innings. They have 11 runs on 15 hits. And now you can root, if you want to, for RJ Hively to throw a 7-inning no-hitter, I guess. It doesn't have the same weight to it that a full 9-inning one would, but we're in the 5th inning anyway. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball pulled to the right side, and it is juggled by Hartkopf, but he finds the handle and throws to first in time to end the inning. But the Heideköpfe score 3 more runs. And they lead 11-0 as we go to the 6th inning. This is Game 2 of the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Heidenheim is in control of this game, leading 11-0 over the Solingen Alligators. But the story right now is RJ Hively. 5 innings, no hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's thrown 63 pitches, and he goes to work now against the number 9 hitter, Johannes Weidemann, and the first pitch was a strike. To give you an idea of how things have gone for the Alligators in this game, Weidemann is now just batting for the 2nd time. Meanwhile, 2/3 of the lineup for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe have already batted 4 times. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2 on the outside corner, 0-2. RJ Hively has been getting ahead of everyone. And here's the 0-2 pitch to Weidemann. Fastball just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hively has 3 strikeouts. He's only walked 2, and it was the leadoff walk to Lars Zammitprice, and then he also walked Lars Anderson. There's a swing and a miss on the curveball. That's the first out here in the 6th inning. And now Hively has struck out 3 of the last 4 hitters. As you take another look at that pitch, tailing down and away from Weidemann. Now the top of the order, Lars Zammitprice will step up to the plate. Zahmait-Preuss walked and struck out. Hively has been locked in. Here's the right-hander's first pitch. And he starts him with a breaking pitch in for strike one. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, strike two, catches the corner. When you think back about defensive plays, you have to remember the play that Philip Schultz made to end the fourth inning after the two-out walk to Lars Anderson. Curveball, strike three called, and Zahmait-Preuss not happy as he turns and walks back to the dugout. Two down here in the sixth. Zahmait-Preuss, I think, thought it was high. Well, 4 of the last 5 men have been sent away with a strikeout against R.J. Hively, and now Daniel Sanchez. 2 outs in the 6th inning. Hively working on a no-hitter. And the pitch on the way. That's fouled off to the right. A very late swing on an inside fastball. Hively still not reached 70 pitches yet. Heidenheim 11, Solingen nothing. But there's the one play that we can think to end the 4th inning. Philip Schultz made a great play behind second to get a force out and save a base hit. There's a comebacker fielded by Hively. He shovels it to Nilsson, and he has held Solingen hitless through 6. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here in Heidenheim. 11-0, the Heideköpfe in front. This is game 2 of the Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 11-0 Solingen, 11-0 Heidenheim leading Solingen. And Ben Andrews is going to move from third base to the pitcher's mound. Niels Hartkopf is now playing third base. And I cannot see who the second baseman is, so I'm just waiting for the official score to get updated. Sean Larry is the hitter, and the first pitch is in there for strike one. And the next one to Larry is way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Andrews pitched 2 innings this year, and he gave up 4 runs in those 2 innings. So this is mop-up duty for him. Trying to just get through the frame. The pitch swung on and grounded foul off to the right. Okay, Zalmite Price. So who's playing center then? Hartman. There's a swing and a pop foul off to the left, out of play, I believe. Yes, just out of the play of the reach of Johannes Weideman. Sean Larry with a 2 ball, 2 strike count. New second baseman is Lars Zalmite Price. And Niels Hartkopf is playing third. And Linus Hartmann is in center field. So Hartmann came into the ball game for, well, let's see, he would have come in for Bolts. And this pitch is swung on and lofted down the left field side in foul ground. That's going to land on the other side of the fence. Third baseman Niels Hartkopf nearly tripped. And he's had a tough day, made a couple errors and then almost hurt himself on that one. That pretty much sums up things for the Solingen Alligators the way they've gone. And the question is, can R.J. Heibley finish a no-hitter? He's got one going. He needs to get 3 more outs in the top half of the 7th as Sean Larry swings and fouls one back. The count's still 2 balls and 2 strikes on him. Sean Larry, Philip Schultz, and Simon Liedtke, 7-8-9 against Ben Andrews. Marvin Bolts went 1 1/3 innings. And Larry steps out, asks for time. Looking through recent history, here's the 2-2 pitch. A hard ground ball to the right side. Zalmite Price, the second baseman, fields and throws to first in time, 1 down. And that will bring up Philip Schultz. The last Heidenheim Heideköpfe no-hitter was thrown by Tyler Lockwood on June 20th of 2015. That was an 8-inning no-hitter, a 10-0 victory over the Tübingen Hawks. And as far as the playoffs are concerned, in fact, it was Niels Hartkopf. No, excuse me, Nick Renault of the Solingen Alligators in 2013 threw a 7-inning no-hitter. That was not in the playoffs, though. That was against the Berlin Sluggers. Niels Hartkopf pitched a no-hitter against Paderborn. There's a ground ball pulled foul. Back on August 20th, 2011. That was in Game 3 of the quarterfinals for the Haar Disciples. The Haar Disciples won that game 3-0. So as far as playoff no-hitters go, that's it. There's a swing and a miss on a curveball. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Andrews to Philip Schultz. Schultz today is 1 for 2. He also laid down a perfect squeeze bunt. Here's the 1-2. Curveball, and he taps it foul. There's 1 out, nobody on base, bottom of the 6th, but if Solingen doesn't score at least 2 runs in the top half of this inning, the game will end. As Heidenheim has an 11-0 lead, and the 10-run mercy rule would be invoked. And the question is, R.J. Heibley, he's got a no-hitter going, and can he finish it? One ball, 2 strikes on Philip Schultz with 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, and the pitch from Andrews. Curveball is way outside, 2-2. The ball game was started by Wilson Lee. He went 3 2/3 and was knocked around. 11 hits, 8 runs. And this pitch is swung on, hit high in the air to center field. Linus Hartmann is right there. Doesn't have to move a step. And there are 2 away. So that'll bring up Simon Liedtke, the number 9 hitter. As I mentioned, Wilson Lee, 3 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 8 runs, only 4 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. Marvin Boltz, 1 1/3, 4 hits and 3 runs. And now Ben Andrews. And the pitch to Simon Liedtke is hit in the air to right field. This is playable for Wilson Lee. That's the 3rd out of the inning as he puts it away. And we will go to the 7th inning. R.J. Hively going to try to finish off a no-hitter and keep this game as a 10-run rule victory for the Heidenheim Heideköpfe. They try to go 2 games to none in this best-of-5 series. We'll be right back. This is the 2018 Bundesliga Semifinal, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Here we go. It's the top of the 7th inning. R.J. Hively working on a no-hitter, and he's going to have to face 3, 4, and 5, and that's fitting. The 3 toughest hitters in the lineup, starting with Ben Andrews in the first pitch. Hit in the air to right field and foul, strike 1. Ben Andrews, then Lars Anderson and Wilson Lee. Against R.J. Hively, he's thrown 73 pitches after that first one, 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. No hits. And the 0-1 pitch on the way. Strike called on the outside corner at the knees. Good pitch. The Heideköpfe last no-hitter I mentioned was in June of 2015 by Tyler Lockwood. Before that, combined no-hitter. There's a little tapper in front of the plate, fielded by Hively. He tosses to first low, and he throws it away. And that'll be an error, and Ben Andrews will go to second base as the ball is retrieved by Liedtke along the right field fence. That's an E1. No base hit for sure on that. As Hively excited to get that first out, and he just threw it low and way to the outfield side of the first base bag. And so Andrews is on second base to start things here for the Alligators, and suddenly the shutout is in jeopardy. And not to mention, if Anderson were to hit one out of here, the 10-run rule would also no longer be in effect. So let's see what happens now. Runner on second base. That's just the 3rd base runner in the game for the Alligators. Anderson today has walked and grounded out. He's 0 for 1. The pitch, a high pop-up. This is going to stay on the field. Simon Liedtke, the second baseman, calling for it. He makes the catch, 1 down. Anderson pops out. That's the first out here in the 7th, and that will bring up Wilson Lee. Lee is 0 for 2. Every single batter in the Heideköpfe lineup batted exactly 4 times. And Wilson Lee, halfway through the lineup for the Alligators, is on his 3rd at-bat. Right-hand hitter, Andrews at second base, 1 out, 7th inning. And the pitch, that's off the plate outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Hively's just been locating his pitches very well. There have not been very many hard-hit balls at all in this game. There's the one really great play by Philip Schultz behind second base to get a force. And other than that, they haven't been close to a hit. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Johannes Krumm and Robert Gruber combined for a no-hitter in 2014. So those are the last 2 no-hitters thrown by Heideköpfe pitchers. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And a strike called, an indoor curveball. That one, a little slider or maybe a cutter. It came back over the inner part of the plate, and Lee let it go by. 1-2. Heively paying no mind to Ben Andrews on second base, and neither are any of the infielders, nor should they. 11-0 the score. Here's the 1-2, and that's low and outside. 2-2. Dustin Hughes is on deck. R.J. Heively, 2 outs away from a 7-inning no-hitter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Lee. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with that breaking pitch down and away. 6th strikeout for R.J. Heively. And Dustin Hughes, the last man standing between Heively and a no-hitter, a 7-inning no-hitter. Heidenheim 11, Solingen nothing. Hughes is 0 for 2, and the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. And he's sticking with that slider down and away. Drum roll, please. 0-1. Heively comes set. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball missed low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Some of the fans are starting to get the round of applause going to slowly beat the drum and ratchet up the intensity, hoping for the last pitch of a no-hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dustin Hughes, and the pitch. A strike called, another breaking ball on the inside corner, and now R.J. Heively and the Heidenheim Heideköpfe are 1 strike away from taking a 2-0 lead, and the icing on top of the cake for Heively would be a 7-inning no-hitter. 1-2, the right-hander comes set. Here's the pitch, coming right now. He got him swinging! Strikeout number 7. And it is a no-hitter, a 7-inning no-hitter for R.J. Heively. And he is embraced by his catcher, Simon Göring, the 3rd baseman, Jay Pecci, and indeed the entire Heideköpfe dugout coming out to congratulate their right-hand pitcher, the Californian R.J. Heively, a 7-inning no-hitter with 7 strikeouts, only 3 base runners allowed, 2 via the walk, 1 via his own error. And Heidenheim wins 11-0. They take a 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 series. What a performance from the right-hander R.J. Heively. He walked the first batter of the game, and since then was as focused as you could be. His pitches were right on the corners. The first 3 innings of the game, he was pitching to contact, and he tips his cap to the crowd. A no-hitter for R.J. Heively. That's the first no-hitter for a Heidenheim Heideköpfe since Tyler Lockwood's 8-inning gem back in 2015. It's almost a little bit sad that it's shortened to 7 innings. He was dominant. He threw a total of 85 pitches. And no doubt the player of the game, R.J. Heively. He sends all the Heidenheim fans home happy here. And I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast today. My name is Tim Collins. Thanks for tuning in, folks, on Mind Sport Radio. We are going to be recording a podcast very shortly with Andreas Thies of Mind Sport Radio to recap this exciting ball game. So yesterday's game was a nail-biter and sort of a slugfest between 2 potent offensive ball clubs, Heidenheim winning 9-8. And today, Heidenheim scored early and often, and Simon Göring with 5 more runs batted in, but he was outdone by his mound counterpart, R.J. Heively, the right-hander from California, in his first year pitching in the Bundesliga, and his hitless inning streak actually is 12 innings. He pitched 5 hitless innings against the Haar Disciples last weekend and 7 hitless innings here. So RJ Hively, congratulations. A no-hitter, only 3 base runners allowed, and he is the player of the game, of course. Final score, 11-0. Heidenheim over Solingen, 11 runs, 15 hits, 1 error for the Heideköpfe. No runs, no hits, 3 errors for the Solingen Alligators. My name is Tim Collins. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. The Solingen Alligators will be broadcasting these games next week, so be sure to look for it there. And my next broadcast under Eurobaseball TV will be next year. So I would like to thank those of you that tuned in throughout the course of this season and enjoyed both Haar Disciples baseball and the playoffs here in Heidenheim. Thanks for tuning in, and have a wonderful weekend.